Bonjour. Today we're going to cover avoir, which means to have. Now we've already alluded to this a little bit with il y a, which means there are or there is. Literally, it has there. That's why you recognize this little a. So, again, this is irregular, so you need to memorize it. And I've organized it again in this same format, which should be your very best friend by now. Hopefully you've already memorized être. Now, just like être, you're going to need to use avoir to speak and to say some things in the present tense, but also the past tense. So this is one of those foundational things that you need to know now if you don't want to have to struggle later. Otherwise, you will need to come back and learn it again. So do not do that. Do yourself a favor and really get this down pat now. So, how do we choose? Again, you know that you need to know the subject. You need to know what is the subject of the verb. What is performing the action? That will tell you what one of these you have to use. So, is it singular? Is your subject plural? Is it first person? Am I speaking? Okay? Am I saying something that you are doing? Okay? Like, are you eating this pizza? Are you eating the ice cream? Okay? He, what is he doing? You need to know your subject and understand which box you need to pick. It's like a puzzle. If you do not know your subject, you cannot pick the correct verb. You must understand who is performing the action. Now, after we got that out of the way, now we have these words. You can memorize these words. You should memorize them in this order. This will help you organize all of the verbs that we are going to learn. And I will put in the subject pronouns now so that you can learn some pronunciation here. So this is for I have. And if I'm saying I have, I will say j'ai, not je ai, j'ai, which is why I did not want you to pronounce je like j'ai, because j'ai means I have. So j'ai, not j'ai. J'ai. Then we have tu as. Tu as. Tu as. You have. Il a. And it could also be elle a. On a. Right? And I'm going to bring up on a. Remember, on goes here. Normally you do not pronounce that N. On. But now that we have a vowel following it, I will say on, and I will make that liaison. I will say the N now. And it's going to seem like it's going on to the I. We're going to have a few more liaisons that we'll talk about now. So remember that this word is nous, we. Normally we do not pronounce the S, but we will because we have a vowel. We'll pronounce it like a Z. Nous avons, we have. Vous. But now it will be vous avez. And remember I told you not to pronounce this S? Don't say eels. Well, now we can because we have a vowel. And it's not just ils ont. This goes and it attaches to the next word. So it's more like ils ont and elles ont. So we have j'ai, I have. Tu as, you have. Il a, he has or it has. Elle a, she has or it has. On a, one has or even we have. Nous avons, we have. Vous avez, you have, either plural or formal. And ils ont, they have. Elles ont, they have. So, something to look for here, avoir. Notice that we have AV here and AV here. They kind of follow a regular pattern right there. So, that's something to remember. Another thing I want to point out is that we have, in English, 3 different ways that we generally speak in the present tense. In French, you only have one way. So, that means it should be easier for you to learn French than it is for a French person to learn English, because you need to learn 3 different ways. You only have to learn 1 way to speak in the present. If a French person tries to speak in the present tense, they have 3 things to juggle, try to figure out what one they need to do. That's why we need to give, extend a little grace to the people trying to speak English right now. It's tricky, okay? You got it easy. You only need to go and learn 1 way to speak in the present. Now, the reason that does get tricky for you is when you start trying to add in words that aren't necessary in the first place. So if you remember, there's only 1 way to say it in French. It's going to make your life so much easier. So, if I said, I have a pizza, j'ai une pizza. I have a pizza. J'ai une pizza. But I could also translate that as, I do have a pizza. It's still j'ai une pizza. Or, I am having a pizza. J'ai une pizza. So a French person would want to be saying, whatever reason to say, I do have a pizza. And they need to choose between that. They need to say, I have a pizza, I do have a pizza, I am having a pizza. Which one do I use? You don't have to pick. You just go to j'ai une pizza. That's all. J'ai une pizza. Where it gets tricky is if we start trying to throw in extra words. So don't throw in any extra words. You just need the subject. Here's it. The verb and the object. And the more you keep it there, subject, verb, object. You have a pizza. Okay? Subject, verb. You have. We only need this one. Right? So remember, 3 possible translations. I'm going to review that with every verb that we'll learn, that we have 3 possible translations in English to help you remember that when you say it in French, it's really a lot simpler. Okay? One last thing to know about avoir is that we use avoir with many expressions that we do not use in English. And if you speak Spanish, then, and probably some other Romance languages, this is going to be pretty easy for you. Because in English, we say things like, I am hungry, I am, 16 years old, I'm cold, I'm cold, I'm afraid. All of those things, in English, we say am. That's the verb to be. In French, we will not use I am. We will say to have. To have. I have hunger. I have thirst. I have hot. I have cold. I have wrong. I have right. I have 16 years. Remember, tengo. We would say tengo, right? Años in Spanish. Same thing here in French. I have fear of something. I have sleepy. I have, let's see, I said hunger. I have thirst. Oh, I have need of. Okay, instead of just I need. So all those expressions are going to use avoir, which makes avoir fairly important. And you're going to want to remember that sometimes you use avoir even though in English we would be choosing to be.